Hello, my name is Jeff Jamiolo, and today I'm talking about providing value. You can think of value as something worth measuring, something worth trading. It's a measurable quantity of something. But generally, as crazy as it sounds, value in itself is actually quite subjective. And please forgive me if you see my dog panting over here. She wishes it was 30 degrees outside. I mean, it's not. It's only 45, 50. Anyway, value generally helps us compare things, two equal things. Value could be, do you value your time? Value of time. It takes me 1 hour here, 2 hours here. That's a value, one or two. $100, $200, value, money. Quality of life, value is another one. Do I do more work or less work? You know, it's all about comparison, helping you compare. Let me tell you an interesting story about when I was came to Louisville. I was actually going to have a job working for the U.S. Army as a contractor for a company that works for the U.S. Army doing software development. We're going through the process, and the best they could say is I'm going to get $60,000 a year. After 2 weeks, back and forth email-wise, about to sign on a dotted line, and an interesting email came into my inbox, and it was a contract for me being paid $200 an hour. It's like, whoa, $200 an hour? And it was, the Army was going to pay this company $200 an hour, and I was going to be paid $30 an hour. I don't know about you, it seems a bit excessive, especially when most contracts are like 25% contracts. But it was a very interesting thing because I immediately rejected and said, no, I deserve more than that. Even W-2, when you look at W-2 wise, if you're a W-2 employee, usually you take your salary and you double it. With Affordable Care, probably triple it. That's what your employer is paying for you. And that's what you have to pay these other people also because, the government's getting their money. So just a friendly reminder, there's a difference between 1099 and a difference between that and W-2. 1099 means you're paying it all, which means triple what you want to get paid from an employer. Anyway, what's interesting about this contractor value, I rejected the job. I wouldn't have nothing to do with it. It was like, that was just extortion 101. I go, but it made me think for a second. Even to this day, I still think about it, and I use it as an example. If I didn't know that I am worth $200, it's kind of scary. But you look at it and say, well, imagine Jeff going to this job. Jeff thinks he's getting paid $30 an hour. So he goes to this business, he's going there, and his employer is paying $200 an hour for his $30 service. So if I do a really terrible job and say, I'm doing my best $30 service you're ever going to get, but the employer's paying $200, we forget who pays the bill. And that's what's funny about life is, especially when we deal with government and everything else, people forget who pays the bill. And when it involves taxpayers pay the bill. They forgot who they work for. The saying. Not that I'm picking on the contractors. I'm just stating that that's stuck in my head because now I understand that I have to provide $200 an hour worth of value because that's what someone's willing to pay for me, $200. So that's the way I think of my life, and my life is like that. I want to give the best value to my employer. So I will learn all kinds of things. I will do whatever on my time to make sure I'm the best employee possible. That is what I do. Now, from the employee view of that, you can look at it and say, hey, I'm only getting paid $30. I go, but every technology that I learned to move that $30 to $200, it didn't go to waste. I use it in every job after that, getting more and more money. So instead of making 60K, I was making 70K, 80K, 90K. I was making more money. So it never hurts. But people forget that. And sometimes people get this daffy idea that your employer is supposed to actually teach you something. And I'll be honest with you, I'd never want to work for an employer who actually did teach me something. Because usually your bonuses and everything else and your pay raises are all geared by what did you learn to help the company. Call it old school, but no difference in programming. That's not to say that your boss, or your company won't send you to a seminar for, like, maybe learn cloud computing. Could be. Could send you for a week to a course. That's fine. I have no issue with that. I do have issue with people getting this idea that it's the employer's responsibility. I go, you need to learn to invest in yourself. Because if you're not investing in yourself, no one else will. Just throwing it out there. I've been investing in myself since I've been 12 years old. That's 40 years of investment. So when people go over and say, I want to be like you, well, it means you got to start working for 40 years. Learning everything you possibly can to get where I am. You don't want to do that? Oh, you want to drink? You want to party with your friends? You want to watch sports all day? You're taking away from the time that I didn't spend doing that. Don't get me wrong. I drank for a little while. If my girlfriend liked sports, I watched sports. But it wasn't crazy like people do. But anyway. That's my digression on value. Now we also look at it and say, what's the value of God? Well, he is our Father. Spiritually, could be the universe too. What's the value in that? The value to me in that is I have to believe in something higher than myself. So if I think I'm responsible for my own actions and my own life, that's mistake number one. Because, I'm not responsible for my life. I may be a participant in it, but there's forces at play that are not mine. Whether that be the devil at work, witchcraft, demons, even God. God will ruin a relationship if it's not the right one for you. When you go through that relationship and then 2 weeks later after you met him, everything was kind of all right, and then it kind of goes off the rails. Maybe that was God saying, hey, by the way, it's not right for you. And the problem is sometimes people catch it and just keep going, just off the ledge you go to. You never really realize that maybe I shouldn't have done that. I sometimes fall in that category. That's one of the reasons why I reevaluate that. And a lot of times in life, we have to value God. God values us as his children. Otherwise, if God didn't really care, God would have just smited us a long time ago. Not like we listen most of the time. But God likes to see growth. I've learned that over the years, that God likes to see growth. You grow, you heal, you grow, you heal, you grow. Do new things, do new things, meet new people, get new relationships. But I've learned in my life that I actually put a real high value on relationships. Hard to believe. Because, Jeff, you only have one or two different people in your life. I go, yes, but I do value them. Unlike people who have, 30 or 40 friends. I go, do you really have friends? I've said this explanation before. Your best friend is your friend who will help you bury the body. I don't like the expression, but it was told to me, and it seems kind of true. Everyone other than your best friend is nobody. Trust me, I don't like that explanation, but it's the only one I got. But in the world of relationships, you have to look at it and say, sometimes you just need to walk away. If a relationship is toxic, you can't keep it in your life. I don't. Family, The litmus test I use for family is very simple. Every year or so, I'll go out to dinner with them. We'll talk for 10 minutes, and it'll confirm why I should not be with them again. So they're talking about the same stuff they talked about last year. They have the same problems they had last year. Everything is the same. Nothing changes, which means, sir, madam, you didn't change. I don't know. What's actually funny is I actually have a relationship with my guy I go to the gas station to get coffee from. It's not a good one. I see him once a week, but I have a relationship with him. Pay attention. Are your relationships like the gas station guy, or are they really good? Are the relationships you have, are they bringing you closer to the Lord, closer to growth, closer to healing, or away from healing? Pay attention. So if they're taking you away, by logic, if you actually get rid of that relationship, there's a good chance you'll just heal on your own, because you're not going away from healing. Because literally, as I said, you can heal. What's actually funny is I was in North Carolina doing an interview. People brought me in and they asked me, and their favorite questions are, they'll go over and say, oh, we got this problem. How would you fix it? How would you solve this problem? And I sat there, I thought for about 10 seconds. I said, I would do this, this, this. Now, if that didn't work, I would do this, 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 and this. And then he goes like, okay, well, thank you. I never heard from them again. I found out a year later that is the most common tactic that companies do when they get stuck in a rut and they can't figure out a solution on their own, is they'll pretend to interview people to get information of how they would solve the problem. My appropriate answer should have been, hire me and I'll tell you how to fix it. But I'm very generous with my solutions sometimes. So I am an out-of-the-box thinker, and I am a software developer. So I thought I'd throw that in there for you because, there's a lot of people out here that want to steal other people's ideas. Just throwing it out there. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for your time.